So I'll talk for a couple minutes, and then we can open it up for question and answer after that, and you can ask me whatever you want. So my name is Evan Perperis. My nickname in the obstacle course racing world is UltraOCRMan because I specialize in super long races. We're talking races that are 5 to 24 hours in length. So it'll be like a 5-mile course with a bunch of about 20 obstacles, and I'll run around the loop, eat some food, and repeat that for 5 to 24 hours. I also take that and kind of go beyond and do some other stuff, which involves multi-day, all in an effort to raise money for a charity called Folds of Honor that does scholarship money for children whose parents are killed or wounded in U.S. military service. So some of my background is I'm actually still in the Army. I'm an active duty Special Forces officer for the United States Army. I've been in for 17 years. I've been deployed all over the world, mostly to the Middle East. So I've spent about 44 months total in the Middle East when you add it all up all together. So I got my uniform. This is my dress uniform.
Wow.
Got a bunch of shiny badges and schools I've been to, jumping out of planes, and some other training I've been to, Special Forces and Ranger School and stuff like that. And then all these little hash marks show it's for every 6 months I've been deployed overseas. So did most of my deployments early in my career, Iraq again, Kuwait, and Lebanon. And, kind of while I was still in the military and kind of, I started going to units that deployed less, started focusing more on obstacle course racing. I also I have 2 kids. I have a 6-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old son, and I'm married. And I used to actually live in Clarksville, Tennessee. So too bad we didn't find each other a couple of years ago, because I would have been only a couple hours down the road. I could have come and visit. But I live in Kansas City in the Midwest now, originally from New York, Long Island specifically. And I do, like I said, ultra distance obstacle course racing. I competed on American Ninja Warrior this year for the first time. It did not go well for me, which happens sometimes. I fell really early, and but if you don't try new things, you'll never find out if you're good at anything, and you won't get better because you'll be afraid to fail. So, I go and I try a lot of things, and sometimes I fail, but I kind of get back up, dust myself off, practice some more, and I go back out and try again. Growing up, I wasn't a very good athlete. If you lined up my soccer team or baseball team, I was in the middle to bottom third of that group as far as fitness level and ability level. And I wasn't really good at anything, so I just kind of bounced around, did a whole bunch of different sports. And then I found this sport called obstacle course racing. And because I've been doing so many different sports over the last 10, 20 years, I didn't realize, but I was actually training for obstacle course racing by being well-rounded. And when I found it, I had a lot of success. And, I've been racing for obstacle course racing since 2014. So about 7 years now. I've got 60 total podiums. So, top 3 finishes. I really like the long stuff because I think it really tests your mental grit and ability to persevere. Again, I'm not that fast at the short stuff, but I like to run really long. And, people, it breaks people because they can't handle that stuff. So I'll kind of open it up for some questions, and if anyone doesn't have any questions, I can talk on a little other topics. But
yeah, I think they already have some prepared for you. We talked about it before. Just a minute, guys. Now that's actually how we met you, and OCR Lucetta met you, was at a 24-hour race, and of course you won that. But I think you're the only one that kept going because it was brutal. Lucetta had done another 24-hour at the Garcia place. I can't at Casa Garcia. There we are. A few weeks earlier, and he doesn't like them as much as you do. But I hope he gets more involved. So okay, guys, I'm going to turn this around. You have questions? I'm gonna call on you. Okay, and so there you go. What's your question, sweetheart? Is it fun being on American Ninja Warrior? You're going to have to speak a little louder so we can hear you, but I got it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I went so this year Ninja Warrior was a little different. Normally they do it in a whole bunch of different cities. And this year, because of COVID, they flew everyone into Seattle. So it was my friends who've been on the show before, I have friends with Michelle Warnke and Amy Pajic and some of the other names that have been on the show. They were like, oh, this is a great year to come because they flew everyone into Seattle. So I was in a hotel and all the ninjas were staying in the same hotel, which is really cool because I got to meet, everyone from the show was there. And the staff was really nice. They did a lot of interviews beforehand and we did a bunch of photo shoots and stuff like that. And then normally they actually film it at night. It's normally filmed outside at night. So it's, people are running on the course sometimes at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. But because it was indoors and due to COVID, there was no audience there. It was just our family on Zoom on the big screen TV. And we basically went out during the day and lined up and got to run the course. And you run until you fall. And if you fall early, like I did, that's the way it is sometimes. We got to see Matt and Akbar, the two hosts of the show, right before we went out. They said hi to us, which was kind of cool. And it was just a really cool experience. A lot of great people.
Okay. Do we have another question? Yeah. No. Not no. Yes. Wyatt. Were the obstacles really, really hard?
Yes. For Ninja Warrior, the obstacles are hard and you have to be very precise versus what I normally do with ultra distance obstacle course racing. If I fail something, I just get back up and I try it again immediately. What's really hard about Ninja Warriors is one and done, right? So if I slip off really early, if I step on a wrong placement and fall in the water, that's it for me. And in order to try again, I have to wait another full year. So like I said, I fell kind of early and I was a little upset about it for about 48 hours. And then, after I kind of let that settle in, I was just really happy to actually get a chance to be on the show. It was my first year applying. So it was just a really cool opportunity and a really cool experience, even though my actual performance on the course, I thought was far below my capability level. But yeah.
Now, what about your training? What is the most important part of training for you? These guys are training all the time. They're now doing adult races and they can do anything in any adult race so far that I know. We haven't found or built anything they haven't been able to do. We want to continue to challenge them. But is it just keep doing more burpees? What do we do to better train them?
So a lot of training is consistency and persistence over time. And I know that's hard to hear, especially when you're young, because you want to get better at stuff right away. But like I said, I was never really super good growing up and I just kept sticking with things. And my friends would be involved for a year or two and then they'd lose interest. And they'd be involved for a year or two and they'd lose interest. So my friends would kind of rise and fall in their physical fitness. And I've just been staying very steady for a long time. Now, at your level, the big things are one, obviously training and doing close to the exact movements as you can on course is more beneficial, right? So if you're having trouble doing a pegboard or you're having trouble doing monkey bars or you're having trouble doing quintuple steps, whatever it is, working on that specific thing, like when you come in fresh on your training day, that's the very first thing you do because you want to get better at that right away. Right. And the other thing is I'd say, take rest days, right? So if you train really hard on Monday and you're spending an hour in the ninja gym, take the next day off and let your body recover and make sure you're eating healthy because if you're not eating healthy, your body's not going to recover and you're not going to adapt from the training. So, it's important we stress our body in the gym and we eat healthy to recover and we get a good night's sleep, take the next day off, and then essentially repeat that over and over again. So.
Awesome. Yeah, that's what we do. They challenge themselves on the different obstacles. We have a 3-level gym here where they start in an itty bitty room and then they go to middle room and then they come to this room. So but they always try to challenge themselves with the next obstacle that they don't know how to do, which shows that we're doing the right thing, guys. Consistency and eating right. Did you hear him about that? That's hard. Yeah, Lucetta doesn't want to hear about eating right. He just thinks he could just eat whatever he wants. Oh, Lucetta, where are you? I'm trying to get you in the video. There you are.
Yeah, when you're young, you can eat a lot more. You don't have to eat as healthy because your body will just kind of burn everything. But, you know, over several years, the people who are eating healthy will slowly get better than the people who are eating just whatever. So
yeah. Now, Rachel was here not too long ago, Rachel Waters, and she really, really brought home that they need to be running. Because even though they're good at all these obstacles, their upper body strength is pretty intense. Their running is something that they have to work on. What do you say about that, since you do so many miles?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, especially, you know, if you want to compete more in obstacle course racing than Ninja, right? Ninja is kind of the short end of the sport where there's essentially no running, but you still need good lungs. So you still should do a little bit of run training so you don't get tired on the obstacles. And then at the far end is ultra, so 24 hours long, right? The longer you get to the ultra stuff, and even at 5K, you know, 3 mile distance and 10 mile distance and 5 mile distance, you still got to be running a couple times a week in order to build that aerobic capability. And you don't have, so the thing, a lot of people go out, they'll be like, all right, well, I got to go out and run as hard as I can every single time and set a new personal best every single time. No, you don't need to do that. Just going out there and covering the distance is going to build your muscles. It's going to build your tendons, your bones. It's going to build your heart and lung muscles to adapt to the stress. So just going out there and logging the miles, even if it's not fast, over time, you're going to get a lot better. And you may not realize it, but it's happening.
All right. Well, we have a lot of kids here making faces. I think they're getting ready to want to go work out. So any other questions, you guys? Yes. What is your favorite obstacle?
My favorite obstacle is probably the pegboard. There's an obstacle at Conquer the Gauntlet called Pegatron where it's a pegboard, but your legs are hanging free and you move sideways for about 15 feet. I like it because it's hard. And once I figured it out, a lot of my competitors couldn't do it as well. So, yeah. You
know, what's really great is we had the vertical one for a little while, and that was just way, way too easy for our kids. So this is part of passing this room. They have to be able to go across your Pegatron.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And they have to do it from a Z wall. So they have to come all the way across, and then we have an Olympus wall. So I love that you said that, because that is one of their funnest things to do until they get in here to the salmon ladder and twister and stuff like that. But anyway, I love that you said that.
Yeah.
You guys hear that? Pegboard. But you know what's great? We just did a race a couple weeks ago, they did, and they had the pegboard up there and they nailed it. And a lot of the adults, like you said, they don't have it in the gym. So we had an advantage to know how to do it. Any more questions? Yes. Oh, great question. When was your first race?
So my first obstacle course race was 2013, so about 8 years ago. My very first running race, I ran a little bit of cross country in high school. And then my first race, like outside of kind of school sports, was I did the Army 10-miler, a 10-mile race in Washington, D.C. in 2002.
2002. There you go. How many of you were born yet? Yeah, I know. Coach Shell was. Okay. Any more questions? Yes. Oh, that's a big question. That's going to take him an hour, hon. I think he's got books on things like that. What was it like to be deployed in the Middle East?
Yeah, so I'd say it's a little scary at first, and a lot of that has to do with fear of the unknown, right? So like, I'm sure you've experienced that, whether you go to your first day of school and you just don't know what to expect, and you kind of imagine it worse than it is. So, you know, being deployed for the first time is the same way. I imagined it much worse than it actually was. And while deployed, you know, kind of once you get into a rhythm and you get used to things, you find out that most days are actually really boring. Like most days, nothing happens. Most days, no one's shooting at me, nothing gets blown up. However, you know, the job I had I was an artillery officer, and then I was essentially an infantry officer, so I was going out and doing patrols every day in Iraq. And then as a special forces team leader, you know, it's a lot of boredom, and then there's brief periods of very, very high excitement. And, you know, you just kind of deal with it. You know, you've done the training just like you do for a race, right? You do the training, and you do the best you can when the situation arises, and you kind of get through things. You know, I have some bad memories, but honestly, most of my memories from deployments are actually really positive, because even on bad situations, I feel like I can take something positive out of it. One of my friends, not on my deployment, so he deployed at a different time, it was actually killed in Iraq in April of 2007. And, you know, even though obviously that's a terrible situation and, you know, I miss him, you know, from his loss, I try to honor him by doing some of these charity fundraisers and then kind of living my life to the fullest, right? So I can honor him by, you know, hugging my kids an extra time, running races.
There you go. There you go.
So.
Awesome. Okay. Why don't we're going to shut off this in a moment. Can do. Why don't you go do some, and I'll take you out there. Go do some obstacles. Go on. Let's go. Because they're antsy. Come on. Let's go. Just for a few minutes. Let's go. Show them what you can do, guys. All right. We got a rope climber. Good job there. Let's get that bell. Let's get that bell. Very nice.
Nice.
Very good. What do you got?
Very impressive.
Some pegs. Good job with the bell. Very nice. You're going to do those gibbons up there or what? One person at a time on an obstacle, which is the rules here at Lionheart Fitness. Only one at a time. Very nice. We have got the anchors. Very good.
Anchors away. Nice.
Donated by Race Ready Obstacles. Thank you, Race Ready. Fit Bar and Race Ready take good care of us. All right, what do we have in here? We've got our 6-foot wall, and we got our 3-foot dude. So that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Good job. Good job. All right. Nice. Very good, little one. She just started yesterday. Look at you do those rings. Good job. Nice swing. That's that teapot that Karen Porter taught them. Very nice. Very, very nice. Oh, that's a Fit Bar thing. It's a little hard up there.
Oh yeah, that is a good one.
I'll tell you what. Oh, come on, get that leg up there. Get that leg up there. Let's see. You gonna show us what you got, mister? There you go. Another gift from Fit Bar. These balls, they'll challenge you. Yes, they will. All right. And we got somebody on the pegboard over there. Oh, and the stairway. Thanks to our friend Daniel who built that for us. This has all been 100% donated by everybody, especially the racing community. Everything has been donated and built by either Daniel or community has come and helped us build. You gotta come on in. You want to show them something? I don't care. How about the traverse? See, I don't think you've seen that one. Show him the. We'll just then we'll let him go. Let's. You want to do? He knows the salmon ladder, but you want to show him do the salmon ladder to the traverse. Come on.
No pressure, look at it.
Oh yeah. Yes, there is. You know there is. Oh, he said you could do this.
Nice.
Those pop right out. You have to be really careful, especially kids that do. They think they can do the rope, so they think they can climb it like the rope, and they can't because that'll pop right out.
That's a really good locking technique. I've never seen that before. I like that. I want to
show you something you haven't seen before. That's important to me. You're going to have us find some new ideas because these guys need to be challenged.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I know you know how much it means to me. We've been looking forward to this for a long time. And thank you so much.
Well, thank you. I'm
gonna
to
let
find a reason to come out there and
Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go into another room because it's a little loud. There we go. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to find a reason to kind of come out there for a race or something and stop by and see you guys in person.
Absolutely, we would love that. The kids would love that. I would love that, and your inspiration and motivation. They did go look you up on the internet, and we did watch them here, but some went home. And remember that you're motivating people everywhere. When I met you, you motivated us when you gave us the book and you heard us, and then you wrote the story, and believing in us. We love you here, and I hope you know that. And you're motivating all these kids. And you motivate me. When you motivate me, then I go out to the kids. So thank you for everything.
Good. Well, it's really my pleasure. Anything I can do to help is always.
Again, and thank you for the medals. Oh my gosh, they had so much.